Silk 5, the show of shows, the one that's on, Hunter College.
The Art of War.
That's so funny. That's our old offices.
Yeah, our old office.
Very office. Cool.
So this flyer. So how is it that Al did this flyer, and he wouldn't have done like the prior flyers? Was he too busy?
Did he?
Yes. This is
you know what happened? We had Dana do those bad flyers for the series, and we at some point, I know you reached out to Al on the side to say, dude, can you help us this one time, because we needed a flyer.
It was for this. I don't
remember if
this is an Al Suarez original.
Yeah, that's my favorite flyer of all time. I know yours was Chicago, but man. that one was mine. That one
really, that's interesting.
It was dope.
Why is that why don't we have this on? We don't have it on the web anywhere.
The flyer itself, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, the flyer.
I'm sure it's somewhere. I don't like. We'll look for it, but I think when I saw that one, like that flyer, it just captured. It would make any fraternity who was competing against them envious, because we were like treating these guys like gods, like we were broadcasting their whole team, their colors, the flyer, like it was baby blue and black, which is, their colors. So it for the moment we were in, it was just perfect.
You want me to share screen this flyer?
You don't have to, man. But
we discuss it.
I think we all got a feel for it. But yeah.
So Saturday, June 10th, Silk 5, The Art of War, featuring the undefeated king of Stroll, Lambda Sigma Upsilon, Hunter College Assembly Hall. By the way, that was the first and last time we were allowed to go to Hunter, because people did not know how to act and were breaking chairs. And Hunter was a nice theater, right? Am I?
Yeah, it was a big, gigantic theater.
Yeah. I mean, here's the it was 2 deckers. Capacity was probably 2,000. 695 Park Avenue. 15 in advance. More at the door. Door was at 7. Show was at 8. Yeah, that's like the upper. Was it west or east? Upper
east, I believe.
Upper East Side. Yeah, those Upper East Side residents ain't trying to have all this brown skinness up there.
Yeah, we literally, I want to say we broke at least 16 chairs.
I remember they were trying to bill us for it. I don't think we paid. I don't think we ever paid them.
Oh yes, we did.
How much did that cost? How much did it cost?
I don't remember the price, but they had it was basically it was in our final recap of the event. Like, I remember looking at the bill that came through for it.
Really? You remember that? I don't remember that.
Yeah. It was I forget. It was in the hundreds. It wasn't like $1,000 type thing, but yeah, chairs were broken.
Hundreds? Really?
Yeah, it was like $800. It wasn't.
That sounds very inexpensive for an old school.
They were cheap. They were cheap chairs, and we were, I don't know, but yeah, that I remember at that show, because I was in the crowd. You were working the backstage,
right?
And there were moments where you would have the MC kind of tell the crowd to settle down, and they would continue to be like riled up. I remember going to Raul, who ended up being our MC down the line. I remember going to him.
Who MC'd this show? Wasn't it out? It was either him or Gabe.
No, it wasn't Raul, because Raul was in the audience. I told Raul, Raul was sitting in the seat
with his LSU. Yeah.
And I told him, I said, Raul, control this section for me, please.
What was the issue though? Why we couldn't start the show, or what? It was too noisy? What was the issue? Why?
People were standing on chairs. I know that's one of the challenges. They were being too loud, like chanting, like really loud. And it was very disruptive to the show. And so we Like I don't know if we stopped the show several times, but I remember going to Raul specifically and asking him to get his section under control. And he's like, yeah, I got it, dude, I got it. And that's one of the first moments, my first interactions with him was just like, dude, I need your help.
Did you know him before that, or
I had met him, but we didn't really know each other. Like,
how,
it was just
how did you meet him? How did you meet him?
I'm pretty sure Diana Romagero introduced me to him. After everybody had, like, I had heard his name for many years, but I believe Diana was the first person who kind of like introed me to Raul. But yeah, what was going on? Like, I can't remember who the MC was. I'm trying to think. At that time, let's see if it's in the recap.
Okay.
Wow, this is a long recap.
I'll read it. You want me to read it?
Yeah, go for it.
So, did you know Silk 5 is being held in a brand new state-of-the-art 2,000-seat auditorium? So we almost maxed out. Man, we were 100 people short of maxing out. That would have been a first. Silk 5 is going to be the biggest show LS has ever undertaken. 24 teams. Silk 5 is the first national stroke tournament ever. Show recap. Now that Silk 5 is in the books, Patty from Cali hugs the championship check. Should we show Patty chugging the check or not yet?
Let's keep going. Yeah, we can show it later.
We'll keep going. Let's see. Patty Chacon hugs the championship check. We can breathe again for a few months before Step Championship is here. Let's talk about Silk. Two key storylines here. Number one, LSU, three-peat, unstoppable, untouchable, undefeated. Number two, Omega Phi Beta, NST, number 4 seed, defeats MSU. Number 13 seed, SOG. Number 10, dethrones Cuz, number 1. Whoa, Cuzzy's lost in this one? They must have.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, man. I don't remember that either. And LTO number 2 takes first place. Huh. LTO won this show?
No, LTO didn't win this show.
It says it right here. LTO number 2, second seed, takes first place.
No. OPB got the check at the end of it, so it couldn't have been LTO.
So then this is written incorrectly?
Two key stories here. Which
number 2
dethrones Cuz and LTO to take first place. So Omega Phi Beta won first place. Yeah.
Sorry. Omega Phi Beta defeats MSU, dethrones SOG, dethrones Cuz. Okay. Huh. And LTO was number 2. Silk 5 truly lived up to the hype as LSU faced their toughest competition ever on the road to the championship, narrowly defeating Alpha Phi Alpha team. Okay, this is the show, the Alpha Phi Alpha show, where they did that bicycle routine on stage, right? Or was that Sony Brook? No,
that was that. I think that was this one.
Yeah, they might have done it twice. Okay. In the final round by a 9-8 judge margin. Wow. LSU's true team of professionals showed in round 2 when technical difficulties forced them to repeat their stroll 3 times. The judges and fans appreciated their sportsmanship and energetic spirits as they would eventually go on to finish the stroll and hold their seat atop the Latino Greek stroll throne. The final round matchup between LSU and Alpha Phi Alpha was a repeat from last year, with all 1,900 plus fans on their feet, and crowd knew that we were in for something special. The two teams did not disappoint as it was a fight to the finish. Both teams provided energetic, acrobatic, amazing strolls in what was the strongest finish ever at Silk. Big shout out to LSU and A5A for providing a lasting memory in round 3. The champs proved why they are the kings of stroll and maybe now gunning for the title Kings of Summer as they go after the step title as well. Omega Phi Beta's national stroll team went through the fire and came out victorious. A key battle in the third round between Cuz and OPB was a major highlight of the 3-hour event. In a near unanimous decision, the undefeated 7 teams suffered their first defeat at Latino Step event. The crowd gave them a loud ovation for the numerous victories that Cuz has amassed against many sororities over the past 2.5 years. OPB now sits atop the Step and Stroll throne for a couple of months before the Summer Stroll show crowns a new champion in the sorority category, as OPB will be stepping aside, no pun intended, for the rest of the summer, OPB's team included 3 high-flying sisters from the West Coast who remain undefeated, sorry, their Phi chapter, in their 4 Latino sub appearances. OPB had lasted the immense competition to take national stroll title for the first time ever. Shout out to the one of the most consistent teams on the planet, and Lambda Tau Omega. Whether it being stepping or strolling, this team always finds a way to make it to the final round. This is the 2nd year straight that they overcame many tough matches to make it to the finals. They are consistently on the verge of taking home first, and we're sure the day is coming. Some other firsts and highlights, in case you missed it, to show that 2nd tier does the wave. The 2nd tier of the auditorium. It felt like Yankee Stadium, as one guest poster put it. Led by numerous Greeks on the 2nd floor of the auditorium, a wave rippled through the upper tier several times throughout Silk 5. It was a sight to see. Lambda Pi Chi defeats Sigma Lambda Upsilon and almost takes out Lambda Tau Omega to take 3rd place. Seeded 11th in the tournament, Lambda Pi Chi proved to be the surprise team of the show, led by Andrea Hernandez. They delivered major upsets over our Chicago champion, Gamma Alpha Omega. Wow, Gamma Alpha Omega came from Chicago to the show, crazy. And then followed that up by taking down Sigma Lambda Upsilon number 3 in a major surprise for most in attendance. Lambda Pi Chi didn't stop there, as they gave LTO a near scare in the 3rd round, almost beating them to advance to the final round. Raul and Kangri represented in full effect. I don't remember who Kangri was. They helped keep the LSU section, which numbered almost 100 brothers, in control all night. Special props to all the orals that strolled in the Silk show for the first time. Malik Fraternity, Gamma Phi Sigma, both proved to be formidable. LSU made a new record with 1,900 people in attendance, largest show ever. Sorry, LS made a new record. Largest show ever, includes step show. Silk 6 was announced and it will be on the beach at Wildwood Convention Center, appropriately titled 6 on the Beach. Stay tuned. That was a mouthful. Man, and me personally, I never got to see the Wildwood Convention Center, as we'll talk about in our next episode. Yeah. So your thoughts on the recap and the show?
Yeah. No, it reminded me of a few things. It was raucous. As like, I forgot about the wave on the 2nd tier. I remember because I was on the 1st floor for most of the event. And then I'm looking up and we're settling down the 1st level. And I see the 2nd level start getting up and doing the wave, going across and then back and across and back. And it was raucous, man. I was just like, I don't think we're going to get this show to start if these guys keep, doing this. And then I do remember just reading the recap. I do remember LSU. I forget what it was, if their CD was scratching or something, but like they had to repeat a stroll, and they did, like, we knew what was coming. Like the judges knew it was coming, and they had to do it over and over. So
I vaguely remember that. I don't really remember that at all. But I think I remember it being like almost, it could have been a detriment to them, right? Like having to repeat it. So, but again, they still won. So props to them.
But this show, this by far, in terms of impact and overall, kind of like greatness, like this show was probably, we were at the peak and we didn't even know it at the time.
We didn't know it. You're right, man. Looking back, it's like looking back, we didn't know that this was going to be as good as it gets, basically.
Yeah, it's a good lesson for businesses. It's like, you may be at the peak, you may not know. It's I remember in The Office, the TV show The Office, in like the last episode.
I watch The Office every night, every day.
Yeah. If you remember the last episode, Andy Bernard says, you never know the good times until you're not in them anymore. And he was kind of implying that they were in the good times right then, and he knew it. Like, it would have been nice to know that was going to, like, that it doesn't get any better than this, because I remember coming out of that show and feeling like glorious at what we had just done. It was just like, wow.
Right.
1,900 plus people, 20 plus teams. Like, it was ruckus. It was in a good way, you know.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. I didn't know. I guess yeah. No one knows when we were doing it. Like this would be our peak, but I knew that yeah, the room was great. It looked great. I mean, both levels were completely full. So many people that we almost couldn't even start the show because there was so much, as you say, ruckus going on. Yeah, it was our first and last time at Hunter because it was so ruckus that they broke chairs and we weren't allowed to go back. But I'm going to share the screen of what I have here to show the actual brackets that we put together for the show. Here we go. All right, so here is the first bracket that we put together: round one, round two. See, round one, round two, round three. So in the third round, so Cuz makes it to the third round with OPB, and that's really a surprise. What are the points that are assigned to the red numbers here?
Judges.
These are the scores?
Yeah, the judges. It was just a single vote system. It was slightly different from what we had done before. I mean, it was still based on the same criteria, but the judges had to raise. Remember, they had to raise the card for the team that they thought was better. This is round robin, so it was either or.
Really? So there were no numbers. There were no.
Well, we gave them clipboards where they could keep track of like the categories, so they could say enthusiasm was this, strolling, synchronization was this, but then at the end they had to raise one card, and then based on that card they would move on. So I remember the crowd after every stroll, like they would turn back to see because the judges were in the middle of the auditorium. They were sitting in the middle of the auditorium, so everybody knew. That's another part of the show that was just so amazing. It's just like after the two competing teams strolled, the judges had to have the guts to like put up the card for the team they felt was better, and everyone in the crowd was looking at them. That's how transparent we wanted it to be.
Right. That's good. I don't remember that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So in round three, we have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Round three, we have. So here's where the real, the upset. One of the first upsets is that OPB beats Cuz, and then in round three, LTO beats Unapai Kai. So it was LTO and OPB in the last round. Wow, yeah, OPB almost could have pulled it out. And then here we only had 8. Was it? No. Was it 1, 2, 6? 6 fraternities. So we had, LSU beats Gamma Phi Sigma. OUL makes it out. Top score of the first round, losing team, A5A, SLU. So yeah, we always tried to set it up to put LSU and LUL in different brackets so that they could meet each other. That was very strategic on our end. So yeah, that is interesting. And then, but then A5A ended up making out. And then here is the Czech hugging picture of Jesus' friend. I
think this show that was the first time we did a check that large, but I think we had already started doing the large trophies because again we were being silly with it and trying to do everything bigger than everybody else.
We did large trophies for a while though. That's not nothing.
Yeah.
We were doing it for many years. Yeah. I actually didn't even remember this big checks that we were doing. Yeah.
It was just for this show and maybe a few others, but we didn't really repeat because that one took the most work creatively to.
I wonder if someone still has this check somewhere. Probably not. It's probably in the garbage. Probably was incinerated years ago.
You got to reach out to Patty and see if she might still have it or someone on her team. But
that's funny.
Yeah, that was such a fantastic event, man. It's nostalgic just to kind of hear the story, like hear the recap, and I mean, I remember like yesterday being outside of Hunter College, like as the line was building and turning the corner again, and like people were blowing bubbles. Like it was a warm summer day. It was beautiful weather. And like people were like chanting outside, and like, you know, obviously they had their hidden drinks mixed into their little, you know how they used to bring their cups and have their hidden drinks.
Pre-gaming
Yeah.
in line. The line was so
Yeah.
long they had time to pre-game.
Yeah. And they were just, everybody was trying to come to the front of the line to talk to me, to say, you know, like, hey, I need to get in because, you know, like I'm with the DJ or I'm with the team or the team needs this, blah, 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 all this nonsense. And it's,
you must have got that a lot.
It was none more than Hunter. Hunter was just like
Really?
everybody was trying to get in early. Everybody. Yeah, it was I was too friendly with the line. Yeah, Hunter had to not be friendly because everybody wanted to get in. So
did you have your you know if you had your Austin hat, your UT Austin cap on the show?
I don't.
Did you wear that in New York, or did you only wear it in out of town?
Yeah, it was a defense mechanism. So I wore it out of town because, you know, like in Texas, you see an Austin hat and people like you automatically. So it was just like, you know.
You always say that, but where's that fact? Where's those facts being based from?
Dude, next time you go to Texas, if you ever get a chance, or you go to Austin, I encourage you, put on an Austin hat and see how many people say hello to you or say hook 'em horns, you know, like
that was accidental, you wearing that hat, right?
No. So
it wasn't accidental. I thought you just happened to buy it and then you started wearing it and then like.
No? So what I learned from it, yes, was accidental, but I bought it intentionally because I love the brand. Remember, this is a school, a university that has annually locked us out. Like we couldn't do events there, we couldn't do college tour there. They were very
I remember that.
We put their colors on one of our flyers, and they I think they cease and desisted us, the university itself, because we were using the burnt orange from the school. So yeah, many years of trying. So for those of you who don't know me, I've been in like the education sales business for many years after Latino Step, and every year I try to do something with UT Austin. It's always a complicated endeavor to book a venue there, even for when we worked together at Bloomberg.
Have you done stuff? Were you able to do stuff there eventually?
Remember when we were at Bloomberg, Anthony and I worked together at Bloomberg years later, and we were trying to schedule an event at the campus at UT Austin. We ended up having to book a conference center that was just across the street from the campus so that we could execute the event. And 2 days before that event took place, the university sends out an email to the entire economics and finance department who might be registered to our event and says, this is not a sanctioned event by the university. So please don't take part in it. And like just the conviction that this university has for their brand, their colors, their, you know, using their name. Like I just love, I love the protect. I love it. I love it from a marketing lens. Like, how can you not love someone protecting their brand and making sure nobody
they should do is instead of focusing on all that ancillary garbage of them protecting nothing, they should invest in academics and, you know, excel higher and be number one or top 10 in anything. Are they top 10 in anything?
Absolutely, dude. Their engineering school is like top world renowned. Like people want to get, it's very selective. So yeah, they're probably and are gonna get heat for this, but I think academically they're one of the top schools, if not the top school in Texas. So
in Texas. All right. I thought you were gonna like say in the country.
Yeah. Well, it could be in the country. I'll take a look at the rankings. I'm pretty sure they are. They always were top in engineering. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have other categories now. But
who wants to be an engineer anyway?
But yeah, so to your point, like, just to kind of wrap up, like, so I didn't know the Austin effect until I started wearing the hat. And then, once I started wearing the hat, I saw, wow, this is a good way to make people come over. Because we used to be on college campuses trying to draw people to our table. So seeing either a rival football team or a football team that they love, like they would come over and start talking to us. So it was a good weapon for me.
I'm glad you got a lot out of it. So shifting back to Art of War, Silk 5.
Yes, sir.
I think that's it, man. I think we're going to wrap it up there for today. We have like, I think we recorded for like an hour.
Excellent.
So again, thanks for tuning in to fratboys.com
Peace.
and deuce.